Today is the 23rd of January 2024, and this will be our 37th video on some possible questions. Okay, so even if we did one question per video, we've done 37 questions, but there are some of the videos we've done 2, even 3, and there are some we've done 1, but we've looked at possible ways of doing them. Okay, and there are some we included some of the questions in the starter so that we could have time to discuss 2 or 3. So please, I've given you a lot to just go. All you need to do is to go in there with a notebook and a pad, watch the video, make your notes, write out your formula, and just learn and prepare for your exams. Okay. Thank you everyone who has supported our channel. I really appreciate it a lot. Okay, thank you very much, especially those of you who have subscribed and following us. I really appreciate it a lot. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, follow, share, like them, leave us a nice comment. You can inbox me if you have maybe a question, like I've been told to do more questions on probability, and I think I'll use the starter for that. Okay, and then also I might start looking at videos on graph work, because we've done some graph work, but at the level where we were, I didn't want to compound you. Okay, but the question I have today has to do with graph work. So I think at this stage, after everything we've learned, most of you are ready, if you've not done it already, for me to introduce you to more complex graph work, especially the higher students and students who are thinking of leaving foundation and doing the higher paper with the help of wherever they are learning from. Okay, so please subscribe, share, like, and follow. I will appreciate that. And if the account is not yours, again, please open your own account. If you don't know how to ask for help, open your own account or ask permission, okay, before you subscribe. In the comment section, I say follow my notes/script. Okay, so assuming you are doing your notes and then you hear maybe, for instance, here, that is 1/4 and that is 3/4. Okay, 1/4, 3/4. Follow the notes. Okay, assuming I said 3/4 here and 1/4 here, follow the notes, please. It's very important. Beware of scammers. Okay, thank you. Okay, I got an email today about for me to go and pay extra postage to collect my package from one of the postal companies. I know it's a lie, okay? So don't be sending me those. Don't give any money to anybody soliciting for funds on my page for amputees, orphanages. Look, I'm not into that. I just come here to share what I find with you, okay? Especially with the mass Gcse, okay? So please don't fall for that. Watch last video for recap. It's very important. Today our starter. Chloe has 24 pens. Pen as in writing, okay, in a box. You know, when you are going to buy pen, it normally comes in a box. At times you might choose all black, or you might choose the different colors like blue, green, red, and black, so that you can underline your stuff and make it more colorful. Okay, and select one at random. Okay, so here she's not selecting two, she's just picking only one. What is the probability of not selecting a red pen? If the probability of a red pen is 4, okay, this is straightforward because probability always add up to 1 or 100%. So since it's been given to you as a fraction, the probability of selecting a red pen is 1 out of 4. So the probability of selecting any other color will be 1 minus 1 over 4, which is 3 over 4. Okay, so the probability of a red pen is 1 over 4. The probability of not a red pen is 3 over 4, because you take 1 over 4 out of 1. Now, how many pens are in the box? Okay, how many pens are in the box? Okay, so you have a box of 24 pens. No, how many pens are in the box? No, how many red pens? Sorry, because they've already told you you have a total of 24, okay, pens. So now, how many red pens are in the box? Okay, the whole box has 24 pens. Okay, now the probability of a red is 1 over 4 times 24, so you have 6 red pens. Now 3 of the pens are blue and 4 of the pens are green. What is the probability of selecting a blue pen? Okay, so you have 3 blue pens, so it will be 3 out of 24, which is 1 over 8. What is the probability of a green pen? Okay, now you have 4 green pens, so it will be 4 over 24, which is 1 over 6. That will be the probability of having a green pen. What is the probability of not selecting a blue pen? Okay, so you have the probability of a blue pen to be 1 over 8. So not selecting a blue pen is 1 minus 1 over 8, which is 7 over 8 here. What is the probability of not selecting a green pen? Now, you've already seen that the probability of picking a green pen is 1 over 6. So, not selecting a green pen is 1 minus 1 over 6, which would be 5 over 6. Okay. Now, today's question has to do with graph. Okay. Now, the example. This is a higher paper question and it's non-calculator. Calculator are not allowed. Okay. Draw a diagram to show this data. So they've given you this table, the height in centimeters and the frequency. Okay, now these data, I don't know whether they are height of people, height of stakes, height of containers. We don't know. They've just give us height in centimeters and the frequency. Now, to read this table, this height lies between 5 and 10. From 5 up to 10 is 4. Okay, from 10 up to 15, it terminates at 15, is 9. From 15 up to 20 is 12. And then from 20 right up to 25 is 5. So these were the two things you were given. Okay, then you can draw 3 graphs from this data. The easiest one is a histogram. Okay, you remember one of the videos I showed you that the bar chart has gaps, but the histogram, we did a question like that, and I said a histogram, that word has no gaps. So you can use this data to draw a histogram. You can use this data also to draw a frequency diagram. All you need to do is to add an extra column and find the midpoint of the height. Okay, so the midpoint, the midway between the first one will be 7.5. That will be 12.5. That will be 17.5. And then that will be 25.5. And then the last graph you can look at is the cumulative frequency curve or diagram. Okay, so if I were doing this and they've given me a blank graph paper in the exam, I'll just draw a histogram, that one, and move on. That means I don't have to do additional columns and stuff. But it depends, because whatever you do, as long as they said represent this data on a graph. They didn't say what graph. So as long as you do any of these 3 properly, you get the full marks. But that will be the easiest. So that was the first one I did. And then I went on to draw a frequency diagram. And then I did a cumulative diagram. So I'm going to use the graph to show you the first one. Okay, so this is my histogram here. There. Okay, I wasn't given any scale, so I put the height in centimeters on the x-axis and then the frequency in on the y-axis, and then my title was a graph of frequency against height in centimeters. This is a histogram, so I just use this directly. I didn't have to do anything. Okay, now if you look on the graph, from 0 to 5 is 0. So if you look at it from 0 to 5 is 0. Okay, let's discuss the scale. On the x-axis, the height axis, which is the s, I did 0 to 5 to 10, 15, 20, 25. On the y-axis, my highest frequency was 12, so I did up to 12. Okay, so between 0 and 5 is real, so there was no box here. 5 to 10 is 4, so up to 4 here is there. 10 to 15 is 9, so between 10 and 15 it terminates at 15, so that is why my boxes are together, and it is 9, so all the way between 8 and 10, that is my 9. So that is another bar, but they are together. Histogram, they are always together. 15 to 20 is 12, so on the y-axis 12 all the way there. 15 here to 20. Okay, that will be my box. And then 20 to 25, so 20 to 25 here. Okay, and then it's at 5, so between 4 and 6, that is my 5, all the way here, 5. Okay, so that will be the easiest I can think of. If under exam pressure, that will be what I'll do. Okay, but this same data, you can use it to draw a frequency diagram just by adding an extra column of the midpoint. Okay, we are going to do videos on this. Okay, so the midpoint is the distance halfway between the height. So between 5 and 10, the midpoint will be 7.5. Between 10 and 15, the midpoint is 12.5. Between 15 and 20, halfway is 17.5. And between 20 and 25, halfway is 22.5. Okay, so now you are going to plot this height, this new midpoint height with your frequency. So I'll show you what I did. So the first one, 7.5 and 4. So here my x-axis, okay, the axis again, I have up to 20. Here is up to 25. Here too, I made it up to 25. This is the frequency diagram. So for 7.5, which is halfway, okay, I have 4, which is there. So now I'm using this new column I've created and that frequency to draw my frequency diagram. Okay, Now the second one 12.5, and then I plot it against 9. So 12.5 here all the way up, and then that is my 9. Okay, there. 17.5 against 12. So 17.5 here, up, 12 there. Okay. Then 22.5, my frequency is 5. So 22.5, my frequency is what? 5 here. Now, with this graphs, it depends on what you want, and it depends the question they ask. Luckily here, we didn't have any question. Okay, so the easiest one, because I didn't need to use the graph to find anything. They just gave me a data and they said I should represent it on the graph. So I'm at liberty to draw any of these 3 graphs. Okay, so this is called a frequency diagram. Okay, you find the midpoint and then you plot it against the frequency. Okay, and here too my scale was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, but halfway 7.5, 12.5, 17.5, because these are the midpoints I need to draw the frequency diagram. So on my title, a graph of frequency, because my y-axis is still frequency against the height on the x-axis in centimeters, which is the midpoint height. Okay, in centimeters. So I used the midpoint height. I created a new column, used that, and then this high frequency to draw, and this is what I got. This graph, you can join the points. Okay, unlike the cumulative frequency, you cannot join the points. So that was my third graph, my second graph. Okay, my third graph needs a 4th column, and it's called the cumulative frequency diagram. Okay, so as I said earlier, it depends on what they wanted us to find. But here we are just given a table and a graph and asked to plot a graph. So you are at liberty to plot any of these 3. Okay, but under exam condition, I would have just done the first one, the histogram. Okay, because I didn't need to do this extra table, and I'm conscious of time as well. Okay, now cumulative, for instance, it can be if you are piling clothes to wash at the end of the week. Okay, so maybe you did washing on Saturday and you don't want to be washing, nobody even does that. You don't want to be washing 2 things, 3 things. Okay, so you bring everything together and then you wash them out, you wash the white, and then maybe you wash the black or the dark colors. Okay, and then maybe if you have a new material, or maybe a jumper that you don't want to spoil, you can wash it separately. So cumulative would be like you had 3 dirty mouth clothes on Monday, Tuesday, you added 3 more or 5 more. Wednesday, you added 2. Thursday, you had nothing. Friday, you added 6. Okay, because it's towards the end of the week. Saturday, maybe you wanted to wash your bedspread or something, so you added more stuff. Okay, if you're a family person, and you have babies, you realize that Saturday you might get a pal. So by the end of the week, you have like 25 clothes. And as long as it is recommended for the weight is recommended for the machine, you can just do that one wash, or maybe, and then just dry them. Okay, which is good to save you on energy bill rather than do it bit and bit and bit. Okay, here I'm talking to young adults or mothers or fathers or whoever does the washing. Okay, some of you guys also do washing, so you understand what I mean. So that's where cumulative come on. You are piling stuff. Okay, it can be dirty clothes, it can be pens, it can be awards, it can be anything. It can be anything that you want to pile. So here, your frequency for the first one is 4. So when you add 4 to 9, it becomes 13. You add 13 to 12, it becomes 25. 25 to 5, it becomes 30. Okay, that is why for this y-axis, I went up to 32. Unlike this one, I just went up to 12. Okay, and the first one, I went up to 12. Okay, and the same interval for the height. With my cumulative frequency, the x-axis is the same, but the y-axis, because I'm accumulating the frequency, it went up to 32 because my highest is 30. So instead of writing frequency, I write cumulative frequency. Okay, so a graph of cumulative frequency against height in centimeters. Now, we know that on this graph we have 0. Okay, 0 up to 5 is 0. So here I start from 0 up to 5 is 0. Okay, now between 5 and 10 is 4. So between 5 and 10 here, but I'll plot it on the higher range. These are the higher ranges. The range is 5 to 10. So I'm going to use these figures here to plot against the cumulative frequency. So for 10, I'm going to plot. Okay, so for 10, I'm going to plot 4. So here is my 10, and that's my 4. Okay, so that's my first one. But I will start my curve from, it's not a straight line, it's like a curve from 0. Okay, there. Now for 15, I'm going to plot 13, because as I explained, it's at the end of the day that you add the dirty clothes. Okay, so it should be at the upper boundaries. You don't use the lower boundaries. Okay, so for 15, I'm going to plot 13. So for 15 here, I plotted 13 here. This is 14. So halfway between 12 and 14 will be somewhere here. So when I bring it here, that'll be my 13 and that'll be my 15. For 20 for 20 for 20, my upper boundary of 20, I'm going to plot 25. So my 20 is here. So if I take it on the line, that is my node for 20 here. I'm going to plot 25 here. So between this and that will be 26. 25 will be somewhere here. So there, and then down to 20. And then the last one, for 25, I'm going to plot 20. So 25 again here. This is 28. 30 will be here. So 25 is somewhere here. Okay, so I'm going to plot it all the way here and then there. No, that will be 30. This will be 30 here, between 28 and 32, all the way here, and then that will be 25. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's a cumulative frequency curve. Okay, so now I try and draw a curve. I don't join the points, unlike this one. I can join the point, the frequency diagram, and the histogram there. Okay, so with this data here, I can draw 3 graphs. Okay, so the first one is the histogram. Okay, I've shown you the scale. The second one is the frequency diagram, and then the third one is the cumulative frequency curve. Okay, so they just gave you, so you are at liberty to draw any of these 3, and any of these 3 will give you the full marks, as long as you show it on the table. Okay, and then you do the midpoint. But you shouldn't, even the graph will not allow you, because they gave you only 1 graph. So you are just allowed to choose 1. And because there are no questions that follow, I would just go for the histogram. Okay, that one. Okay, that means I don't have to do the extra tables. But assuming they specifically told you to do a frequency diagram or a cumulative frequency diagram, then you would need to do, for the frequency diagram, you need to add an extra column, which is your midpoint. For the cumulative frequency curve, you need to find the cumulative frequency. Okay, if they ask you to draw any of these 3, then maybe they are going to ask you extra questions to use the graph to solve. But this question, they just said show this on the graph, represent this data on the graph. Okay, but hopefully very soon I'm going to do a lot of graph work with you. We'll pause with the questions. do a lot of graph work, and then we'll come back to questions as well. And hopefully by then, the people who are going to write their exams, good luck to you all, will be ready to really do it, okay? Especially if you don't understand anything. My videos are always there. You can always come and help yourself, okay? And continue using your flashcards. It's very important, okay? Because you might get stuck solving a question and it's like, oh, I can use this formula. And then if you have a flashcard, all you need to go is to go through, maybe you've pasted it wherever visible for you, and then you take whatever you need and solve, okay? It's like assuming you had a kitchen and everything is foul. Then if you are cooking, you don't know where to go, okay, in a bag. But if you know where your salt is, your oil is, your onions are, you can quickly do something and eat in a short time, okay? Or assuming you ask somebody to come and cook for you, and they came to the kitchen and they have to find the salt, find the spices, they wouldn't want to come back again, okay? Today my video is quite long because I had to do the 3 graphs and show you, okay? Please subscribe, share, like, follow. I'll really appreciate that, okay? If you've not done it already. Thank you for joining me today, okay? And I'll see you in the next